Hey y'all, welcome back to Carbon Scoring, the best place for comics history and action figures, and home of the mystery box. And I will say, there have been times that my mystery boxes have not been that mysterious. I've put together a box about a specific character or characters that told a specific story just to kind of, make for a good, entertaining box, but they weren't really that mysterious to me. I kind of knew what was in them. This is not that. This box got packed up when I took down my Lord of the Rings display over 10 years ago. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to be surprised if when we open this thing, it does that vacuum seal thing from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let's see. For real, first time it's opened in 10 years. Ooh, okay, so I used to have a Lord of the Rings display, and I actually packed it up into two of these totes. And we're going to look and see what everything is. Oh, I guess I did actually throw these in at some point. I got my wife some Game of Thrones figures, so that's, I guess, where those ended up. We're not talking about those. This is going to be all about Lord of the Rings, and I love Lord of the Rings, and I love the figures that Toy Biz made of Lord of the Rings. They are unbelievably beautiful and way ahead of their time, particularly when it comes to these facial sculpts. I mean, obviously we've got Legolas right here, and I mean, it is just the spitting image of the actor. Look at that. And I think maybe these were some of the first figures to use Gentle Giant's face scanning stuff, but at the same time, they've also got incredible action features. Like this Legolas has a feature where his arm, what is it? Do you do his legs? Yeah, I think maybe you do. I think you do his legs. Okay, he's got a grabbing his arrow action. Of course, he's set up to hold his arrow, and he can hold his bow, and he can grab an arrow. So cool. But what you're going to see on all of these is a level of detail in sculpting and paint that I don't know has been matched since that time. So we're just going to kind of grab some figures. I honestly do not know what goes with what. This is a Aragon or Strider. This may be like a Strider version, an earlier version of Aragon. Of course, no, he's got his sword, so that's pretty cool. Pretty decent Viggo Mortensen head sculpt. Look at the chainmail. You can see the detail in the chainmail. That's so amazing. Get this thing where it's in focus. Very, very cool. Even down to the rings and the undershirts on each of these. Now, I will freely admit that I do love Lord of the Rings. I don't know if that cape goes with him or not. We're going to pull it off. While I love Lord of the Rings, I love the movies of Lord of the Rings. I saw them all, obviously, right when they first came out in theaters. The last time that I watched them, we had a major marathon, a Christmas Day marathon at our house where we watched all three of the expanded editions. But I haven't seen them in several years, and I will admit I've never read the books. So if I get stuff wrong, don't worry. Feel free to correct me in the comments. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I know that there are people out there who love these stories even more than I do, but certainly I can appreciate how gorgeous these action figures are. Not quite as accurate of a head sculpt, but look at this incredible detail in his armor and on his tunic here. Oh, beautiful. Even the sculpted chainmail coming all the way down. Oh, that is so good. Their weapons are so great. It's a beautiful piece. Who's this? This. So I don't know if that's a named character. So there were some kind of generic, kind of army faction guys in there. Of course, his helmet will come off. He probably has a name, but I don't remember. Let's put his helmet back on so that we don't lose it. And I don't remember which faction of men this gentleman came from, but I do love how uniquely sculpted each one of their individual armors are with all of the details. Again, gosh, this guy looks like that might want to go, missing a hand. Tell you what, it's tough battling the forces of Saruman. It is not very easy. Again, so he has the same tree. Is that like Minas Tirith? Is that where he's coming from? Much more of a knight look with the white and the gold. And certainly their accessories are going to be down in the box. Let's see if we can find a main... let's see if we can find a main character like Gandalf. Now, I would bet this is one of the earlier Toy Biz figures. And what tells me that is we don't have ball hips and we really have kind of rudimentary ball jointed shoulders. But what we do have for Gandalf the Grey is a really incredible Ian McKellen head sculpt. Beautiful sword, flowing robes. And again, because these were initially, the initial lines, the first waves of these were very much aimed at both collectors and children. You know, they took the sculpted detail, and that was certainly something that would appeal to collectors, but they added play value on each of these because they wanted to sell them to kids as well. And if you remember Toy Biz back at that time, these are the early days of Marvel Legends, so the things that they're learning as far as articulation and play value in Marvel Legends, they were using on this Lord of the Rings line, and vice versa. So we have a Gandalf the Grey. He's got I don't know if that's a sword action or what, but he's got his sword over in this hand. Okay, then, although I think it's got it has a play feature as well. Look at this elf warrior. So you can tell they're an elf, because they got pointy ears. They also are far better dressed than any of the men in the earth. Look at just the intricate beauty and the paint wash of this shield. I mean, just the shield itself requires minutes of time to look at. That is incredible. And the individual detail, again, the chainmail, the armor, the sculpted detail. He does have excellent articulation, even down to unique boots. And I mean, essentially every single one of these figures required unique tooling. I mean, they spared no expense when it came to this line. It's absolutely incredible. And if you guys like this, tell me. Let me know in the comments. Give this video a like. I would love to go through the other box. The other box, I can kind of see through the sides. I think it's the one that has all like the ring wraiths in it. So if you want to see those guys, let me know. And as always, if you like this kind of deep dive into comics history, into movie history, into action figure history, subscribe to Carbon Scoring because we're bringing it to you every week. Okay. Faramir, this is Boromir's brother, right? And again, second movie, third movie. So a little bit of a better head sculpt, really nice paint jobs, lots of wash. Again, everything that you would want, beautiful sword. Even, his quiver has great detail. I love the flow of his cape because it really kind of allows him to have that heroic look that, maybe Boromir never really had. All right, who we got here? Oh, this guy probably has a name. He's, I think he's still kind of one of those more sort of generic warrior guys, but I'm sure there's some, I'm sure the actor is like not watching this, but if he were watching it or if his family was watching it, like, I can't believe you forgot Gil Galadol the Great. Beautiful combination though of this kind of crimson garnet color with the silver and the green. Really good looking and such detail, such carved out cheeks and beautiful sculpting of that beard and mustache. So good. Yeah, actually this may be the same guy. Maybe just in a different pose, different movie. Oh, really great. Okay, who's next? Okay. Now we're getting into a fairly major character. So here is Elrond, who I kind of think of as like the head elf. Got his little pointy ears. Of course, he is decked out in the most beautiful outfits you can see. This incredible gold with the silver chainmail. His cape kind of flows over his shoulders. Agent Smith here with that steely-eyed look. Obviously, his elven steel is a little worse for wear, but I'm sure a little bit of heat will get that fixed up. Even the back. This is something I've said, you guys have heard me say it before. When action figure makers take the time to put this kind of detail on the back of a figure that's wearing a cape, that you will likely never see, you know they care about the product that they're putting out. And that was very clear there. So that was more of like a battle Elrond. This is probably like Council of Elrond. Elrond, he's got his kind of very, very lacy headdress there, much more steely look, much more flowing non-warrior type garb, even down. Oh, and okay, this is one of the things that you're going to probably see on a number of these figures is that's mold. So these figures were on the 2 lowest shelves in Secret Lounge version 1.0. We're on like Secret Lounge version 2.3 at this point, but I had a serious water problem in there, and some of these, particularly these rubbery pieces, would get some mold on them. So that's part of why this entire display had to be put away when we went to move forward. Gollum. Andy Serkis. So this is actually, I would bet this is supposed to be Smeagol, right? Because he has much more of the happy as you can call that face, a little bit happier. So I imagine this is a Smeagol action figure, but look at how much effort they put into articulation. Even the digits, the fingers on the hand are articulated. He's got toe articulation so that you can get him into those really, really crouched down Gollum, Smeagol sort of poses. This is the level of care that I refer to when I talk about Toy Biz and what they were doing in the early 2000s. So good. Yeah, I don't know. Another warrior. Not exactly sure. I mean, they really tried. I mean, they tried to go through basically just about anybody who had any legitimate screen time. They pretty much got an action figure. And of course, that counts our main stars. This, I believe, was one of the first Strider figures. Again, you can see he's a little bit worse for wear, but in this instance, it actually almost works. It really kind of looks good. Oh, yeah, I think he's got, his arm is on like a springy thing, because look at how the sheath of his sword is made so that he can pull it out. So that was like the play feature for this one. But yeah, this looks like a Fellowship of the Rings Aragorn figure. Wow, I do love it when we get more elves. Just how great they are as archers and the accessories that came with them. So this one, look, he's actually got multiple arrows in his quiver, and I imagine that if you set his fingers here, there's like a mechanism where he could pull back and actually shoot this arrow. Oh, and still has a sword. So, you get all of the different features with every single one. Okay, here's Legolas. This is probably like Council Legolas, like when they were all coming together to decide to form the Fellowship of the Ring. Much cleaner, has his robe on, still fully painted, articulated, and designed underneath, but made to wear this robe over the top. Cool. Super cool. Yeah, it looks like this is like a box mostly of the good guys. So this is probably the good guy shelf here. Oh, there's Theoden. Okay, so here's King Theoden in armor, about to get killed by one of the ring wraiths. As the king, he has some of the most beautiful, articulate, kind of detailed armor of all. Still has that's a wonky feature there. Let's see which arm it. Okay, so I guess I keep putting the sword. That is maybe not safe for work. Okay, Theoden. He was like frozen for a long time. I'm sure he was probably pretty lonely. Let's move on. Next, I think this is just an elf. I don't think that this is meant to be anybody in particular. But Law again, that golden armor and just the beauty. The beauty of the costume designs. I mean, what Peter Jackson accomplished in these 3 films is nothing short of spectacular. And the fact that Toy Biz was able to translate those incredible outfits from the movie to the toys. And I think they actually did get access to the set. There's no way that they were coming up with all of this solely based off of production stills. There had to have been some really close working together between the team at Toy Biz and the movie makers. Okay. Another man. Very cool. Not quite as detailed on his face. Oh, look at this one. Wow, look at how unique that is. Again, I think, yeah, you can almost always take their helmets off, but the helmets are some of the best parts. Just all of that. I mean, it's the amount of paint wash on a figure like this that is not a lead character. I mean, this is not Aragorn. This is not Frodo. This is just a random warrior. And they took all the time to sculpt out every bit of this detail. This is a gorgeous line of figures. Another great kind of knight in art. Wait a minute. I'm looking at that sword. Was this the original king? I wonder if this was the king who lopped off Sauron's arm. Oh, look, I still have it from coming out of the package. And then here is his sword that was broken. I bet you that is what this one is. This is like Aragorn's heir. This was the earlier king. Very cool. Okay, here is King Theoden sort of in almost diplomatic sort of garb. Has his medal there. Awesome. Yeah, here we go. So, again, there were super strong female characters in Lord of the Rings. And here's Eowyn. And y'all will forgive me if I get Arwen, Eowyn, Faramir, Boromir, if I screw them all up. But this, I believe, is Eowyn, who said, "I am no man." Whoosh, took out a wraith. Really cool. Really accurate. I mean, it totally looks like her. And of course, her hair looks like somebody who has been in battle. It doesn't look like somebody who just left the set of a Prel commercial. I mean, it really does give that kind of Middle Ages vibe. Oh, poor Boromir. I tell you what, man, you really just cannot catch a break. Look at that. Split right in half. Can you imagine what the conversations must have been like between Boromir and his agent? His agent comes to him and is like, "Okay, I've got this great gig for you. You're going to be a part of this incredible trilogy of movies, one of the greatest fantasy epics of all time. Great. Sign me up. 3 movies, you say. Well, you're actually only going to be in 1 movie because you get killed." 1 movie? Well, I guess it's going to be a big movie. I'll do it. Do I, am I like the good guy? You kind of betray your friends and give away, you sort of end up being kind of weak of spirit. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Well, it's a payday. I'll take it. So then the agent comes back to him and says, "No worries. You remember how I kind of screwed you on that whole Lord of the Rings thing? No problem. I've got the next great fantasy epic, and you're going to be the lead. Sounds great. What's it called? Game of Thrones. Awesome. Sign me up." So I'm like the star, right? Absolutely. You're Ned Stark. It looks like this series is going to go on for years and years and years. Years and years. That's great. I'll make money forever. Well, you actually don't make it out of the first season. Again, the dude needs a better agent. There's no 2 ways about it. Is that Boromir also? Wait, let's see. Sword. I'm looking for the horn. Looking for the horn of Gondor. Lots of scuff, lots of mold on this one. Oh, look at this. So this was like the small size Ent that was packaged with the regular line of figures. Look at the amount of detail and the paint wash on this. Gosh, I don't even remember this thing. Oh my goodness gracious. It was around this time that Toy Biz made a Man-Thing figure that I thought had some of the best sculpting. It doesn't hold a candle to this Treebeard. Oh, and I think they made like a massive one too. Like this is like the small version of Treebeard, but even just the gloss of his eyes and the different leaves. Oh, that's amazing. See, this is what's fun for me is because I haven't seen these in forever. So I forget who they are. Is that the king again? Is this a different version of the king? Or is it the same version that I bought 2 of? That's always possible. Okay, Eowyn. I've been thinking for months about doing this box, and somebody said, "Oh yeah, those are those Liv Tyler movies." And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me that you refer to Lord of the Rings as those Liv Tyler movies. But, hey, if the shoe fits, a little bit of soft goods here. I think that's because she potentially came with a horse. You can sort of tell from her posture that she's designed for riding. So I think that and that's why she has the soft goods so that she can ride like a silver or a white horse. Still, that really does look like Liv Tyler. Really solid. Another noble warrior. Oh, we got some various and sundry helmets popping off. We'll have to see if we can find a home for those. Another great figure, though. Swords, spears, shields, unique shields with unique paint apps. Gorgeous. Yeah, holy crap. So here is Aragorn as the king. And let me tell you something. I don't care how many times I have seen this movie. When it gets to one of the 43 different ends that, Return of the King has, but when Aragorn stands in front of the hobbits and says, "My friends, you bow for no one." I mean, I can't even say it without almost tearing up. For me, that is one of the greatest movies, one of the greatest lines, one of the greatest moments in movie history. And it is the ultimate payout of everything that we saw in those films. I'm going to see if I can get that to go back in its scabbard. Yeah, I can't. So but that's the sword. That's the bad boy. Okay, now that I've knocked it out of his hand, I kind of have to put it there. Otherwise it's going to get lost. Okay, it's in spot. Good. Who's next? Who are you? I bet you need let's put a helmet on you. Oh, you look pretty. We're going to call that a day. Excellent. Yeah, okay, now so you can kind of tell some of the, that looks like a dude from, Welcome Back, Kotter, more so than, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn. Don't know if y'all can see the difference. I think that I can. But look, hey, this line went on for a number of years, and it clearly got better as it went. He's got the old superpowers squeezy leg feature, so he does some kind of sword play there with squeezing his legs, but, ooh, yikes, not great. Let's grab some hobbits. Yeah, let's grab some hobbits. So, okay, Merry and Pippin. I'm pretty sure I got these two goofballs right. I think they actually came in a 2-pack, and you can see they're really super pre-posed. They don't have nearly the articulation of some of the figures that we've gotten. I want to say that they did have later versions that came out. Stab, 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 stab. But these are maybe two of the first early ones. Look how blue those eyes are. But you can see kind of the progression of the figures as we went along, particularly. Oh man, again, I think this is his helmet. I think it just popped off. It looks similar to the one before, but it totally matches. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's amazing. These things are so good. Legolas, a really good Legolas. Looks pretty great. Of course, he's got his bow and his sword. I'm sure and look, he's got a blade, that elven blade back there along with his quiver. Look at the detail of this. That's an incredible action figure. Ah, yes. Galadriel. Beautiful, powerful Galadriel with all of these flowing white robes. So it's a nice mix between the rubbery plastic and then the actual soft goods that really creates that ethereal look for her. And Cate Blanchett is not necessarily the easiest sculpt, but that totally captures the look of Cate Blanchett. Oh, so good. Galadriel, you could put her hood up. I think there's a way to do that. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and here we go. What's this? Oh, Eowyn. Looking pretty. Looking like this is the old "Hey Strider, hey Aragorn, take me out on a date" Eowyn. I think she ends up with Faramir, right? You guys know better. Man, look at that. Just look at the subtlety of how good that cape looks. Of course, she can move her arm inside of her dress. Oh, that's beautiful. So speaking of, yeah, here's Faramir. This is Boromir's brother, right? Much more of a heroic guy. Definitely came out on the top end, survived the war. Looking good, dude. I think this is one of the most valuable figures in the entire line. This crazy little hobbit. This is the Peter Jackson as a hobbit. So, director Peter Jackson actually got his own figure in the line. And of course, it was one of the last ones. So, his hobbit figure has way more articulation than some of our earlier hobbits, but he's got his classic glasses, his hair, his beard. Oh, that's so crazy. Peter Jackson. Love it. Yeah, now here's a much more articulated version of Samwise. Yay, Samwise. So good old Rudy here. I think arguably the greatest hero of the entire saga. I do love me some Samwise Gamgee. Is there anyone in the history of novels or movies more loyal than Sam? I dare you to find somebody. Dare you. I dare you. Damn, how many Eowyn figures do I have? Like seriously, this is like the fourth one, right? I mean, for a sword maiden, she got a lot of love. Although, hey, here we go. Liv got some more. Making sure she so this is like I waited for Aragorn the whole time. I'm getting hitched. Liv Tyler, Arwen. Beautiful green dress. She's obviously she just woke up because she's got like bedroom slippers on. That's phenomenal. Did not realize that this figure came in bedroom slippers. Okay, who's next? That's pretty good. Now I don't know. I don't know any of their names. You get into so many just warrior guys. Now this dude, so oh yeah, this was the guy. This is Mr. Spock, right? Carl, what's his name? I think that's the actor who played this and then played, Spock in the new Star Trek movies. So pretty good franchises to be a part of. Not too shabby. Okay, we'll leave you there. Oh, yeah. So I think this was a later version of Strider. So we saw some of those crappy early Striders with bad head sculpts. Look at this one with so much more detail. I mean, he comes with everything. This is a guy who lives on his own and carries everything on his back. He has his bow. He's got his sword. He had his spear. He's got his quiver. He's got his packs. Oh, I mean, just the amount of detail that they put into this one figure. And the fact that they made it to where even with all of this stuff, it's still incredibly well articulated. Oh, that's terrific. That's so good. Oh, hey, we haven't gotten to Gimli yet. Okay, this I think is the first Gimli that we've seen in this box. Now, again, here's somebody who their agent came up to him and said, okay, listen, there's no small parts. There are only small actors. I've got a role for you in this Steven Spielberg, George Lucas production. He's like, okay, what is it? He goes, you're going to play Indiana Jones's best friend. He's like, okay, great. Goes on to become one of the most lovable characters in that. Comes back and plays one of the most lovable characters in the greatest fantasy film series of all time. So here's to John Rhys Davies, the one and only Gimli, with his braided beard. I mean, every single detail, his axe, every single part of this, completely well done. Oh, so good. So good. Look at that helmet with the wings. It's like total like Thor helmet. I don't think that it fits on our main man, Bilbo. I think that's just dirt. And muck from being in the box. But here's Bilbo, our 111th birthday Hobbit. He's ready to go on some adventures. He's got his pack. Oh, and look at that. I'm not going to do it because it'll never go back. But you can undo that, and he's got his little, like, sleeping pad that rolls out. So it actually is like you can move it around. So good. You be careful. I don't think you have the ring at this point, so we'll give you a helmet to keep you safe. Who dis? Oh, now this is for sure Smeagol. And look what's in his hand. My precious. Oh my gosh, they did like a real Andy Serkis. I did not remember that they made this figure. So an actual like super gross Andy Serkis Smeagol figure with the one ring in his dirty, dirty little hands. Oh, that's magic. That is so freaking great. All right, so we did end up with one. Oh, the king. We've got King Ringwraith here. I love how just freaking creepy these things are. And of course, he's the one that has the crown of thorns around and just that awesome. They made such great use of the negative space with the opening there. I can remember back in the day because they had some wraiths that came with horses that people would collect like the total number of wraiths. They'd have like whatever is 8 or 12 or however many it is, and make these massive displays of the headless riders going around. I've got a few, but I don't have that many. And again, if you want to see the rest of this collection, if you want to see all the bad guys, let me know in the comments. Let's make this video kind of popular, and then I'll do the second one. All right, there's obviously 2 left. Let's start with Gandalf the White. What a striking improvement in this action figure compared to the Gandalf the Gray that we saw earlier. Much stronger sculpting of the head, much better paintwork of the beard and the hair, the subtle tones that they accomplished with the robes, the beautiful almost lattice of his shaft. I mean, and this was $8. These things were like $8 or $9 when they came out, and they were able to give us all of this in action figure form. Just amazing. There's the Horn of Gondor. So that fell off at some point. Okay, we have to save Frodo Baggins for last. And he has his blade. He has his cloak. I bet he has his armor underneath. Again, this looks like it was an earlier one because it just doesn't have nearly the articulation of some of the later figures. But I think he goes really well with the other 3 main hobbits that we have in the collection. Just an absolutely spectacular set of action figures. Let me know what you guys think of these. Tell me if you love Lord of the Rings, what those movies meant to you. And as always, for the best in action figure history and comics, subscribe to Carbon Scoring.